So me and my wife, Chelsea, just closed on a brand new rental property, and we think this is pretty close to being the most perfect rental property in all of Lethbridge. But what actually goes into buying the perfect rental property? Well, there's a ton of things to consider, so let's break it down. We're going to talk about what the home actually costs, what we had to put into the home to actually get it up and running, and a little bit about the layout and why I chose this specific property as a long-term investment. And you're going to learn some super helpful tips if you are planning on investing into a rental property. So first off, the number one thing I look for in a rental property is a suited home, meaning that there's a main floor suite as well as a basement suite, ideally with 2 separate entrances, and it's a bonus if there is separate laundry, but the laundry isn't 100% required. But again, the number one thing to look for is that good layout. And what I mean by a good layout is something with that separate entrance like I mentioned. And the reason why you want this is that the 2 suites are separate and private from each other. In all of the rentals that I've invested in, I have always made sure that there is parking available for both tenants. This way, it's also nice for the tenants so they don't have to, worry about parking in the neighbors or out front of the neighbor's house, I should say, so that you don't get anybody complaining. So with this specific property, the location was also super important. It's located next to an elementary school and the neighborhood is a bit older. Most of the homes built here were built around the 90s, meaning they aren't too old, but also not too new either. And I think it's a great sweet spot. Now with this specific area, again, with homes built around the 90s, there is some concern about poly B plumbing in lots of these homes. And poly B plumbing is basically a type of gray plumbing that goes throughout a home. And it's actually known that it's really hard to get insurance for these types of properties because there has been some cases where they've started pinhole leaks and they have flooded properties. Honestly, depends who you talk to. Some people think it's a big deal. Some people think it's not a big deal. For me, I bought this home with poly B plumbing, knowing that there's poly B in there. It's not the greatest, but honestly, it's been there since 1993, so I'm gonna leave it in there and see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be just fine, so I'm not too worried about it, but it is something to note. However, everything within this property was definitely not perfect. With it being from the 1990s, it did need some work.
So the first thing that we're doing, and probably the thing that's going to cost the most and be the biggest project, is new floors throughout this whole property. We decided that we are going to keep carpet in the living room. I know that's controversial, not everybody likes carpet, but I think it's really important when you have a basement suite downstairs to do as much as you can to dampen the sound from the upstairs people for the downstairs people. So we're doing carpet in the living room and in the bedrooms to keep it warm and cozy. And then we have new vinyl plank flooring that's gonna go throughout. Vinyl plank is a little bit more expensive than like linoleum, like the sheet vinyl that's here, but that's marginally more expensive, at least in the quotes that we got. And it's gonna be easier to replace flooring. So if a piece gets damaged or something, you can pull up just an individual piece and replace it. Much easier to fix. So while we're getting the flooring done, we're also gonna get new trim everywhere. So that means that all of the baseboards and all of these window casings that have got a nice 80s look to them are all gonna be replaced. Probably our next biggest project after that is going to be the countertops. Now we're not changing the layout of this kitchen whatsoever. In fact, that was a huge factor in purchasing the property. We don't have to create a whole new kitchen. It has a good layout and these cabinets are in a good enough shape. Actually, later woods are kind of coming back into style again. So by replacing the countertops with something a lot more modern, it's gonna freshen up the whole look of the kitchen. I'm also gonna replace all of the hardware. And lastly, all of the light fixtures throughout the entire house. These ones are getting pretty ratty, and new light fixtures is like my passion. It's my favorite part. I think that it absolutely transforms a space. There's gonna be some other things that get replaced on a need to do basis, kind of like the stove. This is pretty dated, so we're gonna replace the stove. But on the other hand, the fridge looks fantastic, so we're gonna keep appliances and stuff like that where we can. The changes that we're making upstairs, we're also doing downstairs. So there will be new flooring here. We're gonna have new countertops. But further than that, down here, the paint color is kind of dark and making this place feel dreary. Upstairs is fresh and bright and white, and the walls are in good shape. So we're also going to repaint this whole basement as well. A new coat of paint can absolutely transform a space.
So as you can see, there was some work that needed to be done. So thank you, Chelsea, for providing some info on what we're actually going to be doing to this home. But also keep in mind that most of the work that we're going to be doing is just cosmetic work. We aren't going to be moving walls. We're not going to be adding or changing that plumbing like I mentioned earlier, and we don't have to update any electrical. So this also means that we don't have any permits for this work. There's no permits that actually need to be done when it's just cosmetic, which is important because we picked this home with this good layout, meaning that we don't have to do any major renovations, which is going to save us a ton of money and is going to keep our renovation expenses very low. But let's break down what it actually costs us to renovate this home. And at the same time, I'm going to show you guys the before and after so that you can see how much of a difference these renovations have actually made. So for the flooring to be ripped out and replaced with vinyl plank and carpeted flooring, the total invoice cost was $12,270. Now we did vinyl plank in the kitchen and the hallway areas, and in the bedrooms and the living room. On the main level, we did carpet in both of those areas just because we wanted to dampen the sound like Chelsea mentioned. And with vinyl plank, it's easy to pull a piece out and replace it if you ever need to, especially with it being a rental. So the next thing we did was we hired a finishing carpenter to replace some of the doors. Some of them had holes in them and they just weren't in very good shape. And we also did new trim throughout the home, and the total invoice cost just for the labor was about $2,900. However, we did have to supply the materials for that, and that came out to about $2,500 for the new doors and the new trims and all of the material like the hardware and the door handles and everything. Finally, we did hire a painter to put a fresh coat of paint all over everything, including that basement that had those brown gross walls. We didn't have to repaint the main floor, but we did have to paint all the trim. So to paint the trim upstairs, the new doors, and the basement, the total invoice cost was $2,000. So the total cost for this reno was just over $20,000. However, there was also some appliances that had to be replaced as well, which added another $5,000 to the cost, coming out to $25,000 total. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what's the total cost of this property now, Kurtis? How much are you getting for rent, and what's the breakdown? So I'm not going to gatekeep anything here, and I'm going to show you the exact numbers. So the purchase price that we paid for this home was $340,000, and after roughly $25,000 in renovations, the total cost to purchase this home and to get it up to a good standard, in my opinion, was $365,000. We put 20% down on this property, which is what you need for a rental if you're not living in the home, which was $68,000, plus our renovation cost of $25,000 is a total of $93,000, which is a lot of money, and it actually makes my hands sweat just talking about it. However, one thing to keep in mind is that the 20% down is something that you cannot avoid. You're going to need to put that 20% down if you're not living in the home and you're planning on renting out both units, top and bottom. If you're planning on living in one of the units, like let's say you're going to live upstairs and rent out the basement, then it's considered your primary residence, so you only need to put 5% down. But in this case, if you're just purely investing, you're going to need 20% down. However, what you can do to save you from putting in that extra $25,000 into renovations out of your pocket is what's called a mortgage plus improvements type of mortgage. What this means is that you can add on the renovation budget to the purchase price. So we could have bought this house at $340,000 and added on that $25,000 for a total mortgage cost of $365,000. And if we would have done it this way, we would have been able to save some cash by, just putting down the 20% and then having the bank pay for that extra $25,000 in mortgage cost. Looking back, it's actually what we probably should have done. However, the only caveat to this is that it takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit more of a pain because you have to get all of the quotes for this work done ahead of time during your condition period before you remove conditions so that you can get approved for the mortgage plus. And the other thing to note is that all of the work that you're planning on doing has to be done by a professional contractor. because the bank just isn't going to give you $25,000 and let you do your own work. They actually want to know that it's being done professionally and it's actually increasing the value of the home. So if you don't plan on doing any of the work yourself and you do plan on hiring it all out, this could be a really good option, and it's going to save you from putting your own cash in the property. You can actually borrow some money and put it in. However, one thing to keep in mind is that if you add on that extra $25,000 to your mortgage, that's going to increase your monthly mortgage cost. You're still going to want to make sure that your property is still cash flowing with that increase in mortgage cost. However, the one thing to note is that before these renovations, this home was renting for about $1,300 for the main floor and $900 for the basement, including utilities. However, with the renovations that we put into the home, now we are actually able to rent out the main floor for $1,750 per month for the main floor and $1,500 for the basement per month. And again, that is including utilities. So now this is another $1,050 difference per month that we're getting by doing these upgrades. Now you might be thinking, Kurtis, you just spent $25,000 on these renos just to make another $1,000 per month? That's going to take you 25 months or over 2 years just to pay off these renovations. You're probably wondering if that's actually profitable, if it's a good investment to dump that kind of money into this rental. Well, I actually have 3 answers to this. And the first is that that's just real estate. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, and it's going to be a long-term payoff. The second is that I actually haven't lost that extra $25,000 that I put into the property. If you've planned out your renovations right, that $25,000 that you put into the property has actually increased the value of the property, hopefully $25,000, or maybe even more. Maybe if I put that $25,000 in the property, maybe I could sell it actually for $35,000 more. So I've actually already made money on that, but I haven't realized it because I haven't sold the property. And that's what I think a lot of people miss when they're investing into real estate. The third thing that I like to bring up, and it's something that I've experienced with my rentals, and I've actually experienced the opposite with other people's rentals. And that's that if you have a nice rental, you're gonna get nice renters. And if you have a beautiful property, you're probably going to get really beautiful renters that take care of the property. Whereas if you have a slum of a rental, you're likely going to get renters that don't treat your home very nice. So at the end of the day, it might not look like the most profitable investment short term, but long term, with good renters, and if you've planned out your renovations accordingly, I can promise you this is definitely gonna pay off. And of course, you need to realize that you're not gonna hold this property for the next 1, 2, 3 years. If you're properly investing in real estate, you're gonna own this property hopefully until the entire life of it and it's paid off, or minimum at least 5 to 10 years. And I promise you, these renovations and the work that you put into the property and the good renters that you put into the property are gonna pay off tenfold. So there you have it. This is actually how I go about purchasing a rental property for myself, and I hope you found it helpful and you learned some things along the way. So if you guys have any more questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. And if you guys are interested in purchasing a rental property, down below is a link in the description so you can book a Zoom call with me if you want to discuss this further. Of course, there's also a link down there to sign up for auto email listings. So basically how this works is you type in your desired criteria, like suited properties, and the first email you get will be every listing that's currently on the market, and every email after that will be any new listing so you never miss one. And of course, if you guys like this video and want to see more like this, just hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.